Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Imagine that you're picking up a few items at the grocery store. You're checking out and you're noticing a line on your receipt. And it says tariff tax, $7.25. That would get your attention. Might even spark some questions like, why am I paying this? Who decided this was necessary? Where's the money going? Now imagine never seeing that line, but still paying the added $7.25 in the bill. That's the reality of tariffs. In 2025, the United States has quietly shifted from an open trade economy to one burdened by some of the highest tariff taxes in modern history. The Trump administration has imposed 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, two of our closest trading partners, and up to 34%, at least currently, on goods from China. That's not counting the earlier rounds of surcharges from Section 301 and 232 duties. These are no longer just negotiating tactics. Their policy, which definitely has become political, that's already impacting prices. Business margins are shrinking and family budgets are being upended. President Trump's newest threat of 50% tariffs on all European imports, which was delayed until July 9th, could extend the price hikes even further. We've been here before. Karl Rove, a Fox News contributor, former deputy chief of staff to President George W. Bush and author of The Triumph of William McKinley, addressed this directly in an April 30th, 2025 appearance on the Michael Smerconish program, which, by the way, airs daily on Sirius XM channel 124, and I would highly recommend it. He reminded listeners that President McKinley, often seen as a protectionist, eventually evolved to realize that economic isolation would not build America's prosperity. He ultimately advocated for reciprocal trade agreements that reduced barriers and opened new markets for U.S. goods. Rove had a pointed message. He said, and I quote, "Tariffs are taxes, taxes that Americans pay. They are not paid by exporters. Maybe those countries adjust prices slightly. Maybe they cut margins or devalue their currencies, but ultimately it's the U.S. consumers who foot the bill." End quote. That cuts through a lot of political noise. For years, we've been told that tariffs stick it to China or Mexico, that they punish bad actors and make America stronger. But the economic reality is much simpler. Tariffs are collected from U.S. importers at the border. These costs flow down the supply chain and land squarely on you and me. Yet, and here's the insidious thing, tariffs are invisible. You won't find them itemized on a receipt. Unlike a sales tax or even an income tax, you never see the tax, but you still pay it. That's what makes tariffs politically convenient. Earlier this year, Amazon briefly considered breaking out the tariffs at checkout. the way value-added taxes, which are referred to as VAT taxes, are disclosed in Europe. The Trump administration reportedly pushed back, urging Amazon not to itemize the charges. The message was clear: keep the tax hidden. When taxes are hidden, accountability disappears. If every American shopper saw a line showing what percentage of their purchase went to the federal government via tariffs, I suspect the debate around them would look very different. Supporters of tariffs often paint them as a pathway to economic self-reliance and manufacturing resurgence. But so far, there's little evidence of that. A 2025 Wall Street Journal poll showed just 32% of Americans believe tariffs will help the economy. That leaves 68% saying they won't. Most are skeptical, and with a really good reason. Here's what we're already seeing: higher prices on basic goods from clothing to electronics, supply chain disruptions and business uncertainty, shrinking export markets due to retaliatory tariffs, declining consumer confidence, one of the lowest in decades, a widening gap between economic messaging and lived reality. In today's interconnected global economy, tariffs are more likely to isolate us than empower us. If we want a strong economy, we need transparency and truth. It's time we start to see, both literally and politically, that tariffs are taxes paid by Americans. Thanks for listening.